start with the poolish. So all we do is mix together some flour, water, yeast in a mixture, and then let that cover it, put it in the, let it sit at room temperature for like an hour, put it in the fridge for 24 hours. And then you take it out, mix the rest of the flour, water, salt, and a little bit of oil in there. Yeah. I just learned the term this term poolish. So poolish is a pre-ferment. So basically, Neapolitan style pizza has a higher salt content. So I know I can see you there. You don't have to scratch my leg. Ready? Yeah, look, Jess. Yeah, so it's basically like a starter. You're using regular yeast and you're mixing together flour, yeast, water, and a little bit of honey if you want to add some sweetness to it, and that will help with the browning. And you let that sit for 24 hours to get really supercharged strong yeast before you put the salt in. So then the salt will slow down the fermentation. You get really, for 2 to 3 days, like I could leave the rest of the dough in the fridge for another day. The longer you leave it, the yeast, what it does is it starts to eat the natural sugars, and it starts to break down the dough so it's easier to digest. So from this pizza, you don't feel really too heavy. Like you might feel full when you eat it, but then like hours later, you don't get so as bloated. I've really noticed since we've been making this, you get less bloated. It's easier to digest. You don't get as many like tummy cramps. And it has better flavor. So what happens is the longer the fermentation, the slow fermentation from the yeast, the byproduct is carbon dioxide, but also natural alcohols. And that's what gives us the sourness for our pizza dough. So I've been making this now for about a month and a half out of the 2 months, and I've tweaked it slightly. It's a really good dough. I had we did a pizza party for my stepdad on Sunday with 30 people. And it was so nice. I was making the pizzas, Exceed was topping them and like chopping them, and we had so many like you'd hear people like in the background and also coming up to me saying like, this dough is amazing, like this base is fantastic. And it's definitely it's really nice to hear, but it is down to the slower fermentation, your poolish, which is giving it its strength. We use bread flour. Today we're trying 00 Italian flour. Italian flour is giving it a little bit more lightness. Doesn't have as much protein compared to the bread flour. It is more expensive though, so you got to figure out what's for you. If you get it from Costco, you can get it at a really good price. But yeah. 2 to 3 days fermentation is good. Yeah, the dough can make any pizza better. Yeah, and so often we eat pizza and then you feel like crap after it, and it kind of ruins the experience because we love the flavor and love eating it, but then, you know, a few hours later you're like, oh my goodness, like, oh, I feel like I need to have a sleep. With this, like, I still feel like a little bit full, but you can carry on. And it has a lot more flavor, chewiness, but soft. The recipe, like if you look at this, like these, see how light and fluffy that is? So this is a really big air bubble. If I get some scissors. Like, look at those air bubbles in there. And this dough isn't as fermented out as I would usually do, because what I was saying before, like the pizzas get better towards the end of stream because the dough has had longer time to warm up and ferment and like rise. Whereas the beginning of the stream, they're a little bit denser because they haven't been out of the fridge as long. We start streaming at 8 a.m. So I get the dough out of the fridge at like 6:30. When we wake up at 6, I get up like 6:30, get the doughs out, and then they start to rise. But because it's winter here, it's slower. So you'll notice that you'll get nice big air bubbles. They'll be much lighter towards the end of the stream. And I just love it. I love making pizza and showing you guys. You guys giving me topping suggestions. I'll show you, teach you about pizza dough. Like we've had a bit of some issues this morning with the dough, just because it had a little bit of, like we stretched it a little bit too thin. That's okay. But the dough itself is so flavorful on its own. And that's what I talk about with any type of cooking. When you're making a side dish, like you're serving curry and you've put hours into your curry, and then you serve it with plain boring rice that's got no like seasoning. Like you want your side dishes to be flavorful and they all build on each other. And if your pizza dough is a 5, your base is a 5, then you get a 10, right? Or you're adding points, it's cumulative. So if you give love to your toppings, you got to give love to your base as well, because that's what's going to bring it all together. Just like with a curry and rice, add some seasonings to your rice, add some stock powder or whatever, cook it in stock, or add some butter. It's going to be a flavorful curry, like you're going to have a flavorful pizza. Yeah? All right. So this one, we're going to do a margarita Molly style. Okay, so pizza oven's cooled off a little bit, which is good. Now, this is, it is basic, but it is my preference, how I would, if I ordered a pizza or if I wasn't streaming, how I would make my pizza. It's a margarita, and then you cook it, then you take it out of the oven and you put fresh prosciutto, sliced prosciutto, and then stracciatella, which is basically like the inside of a burrata. I'll show you, I bought a burrata today to show you what's the inside. Did we end up making pretzel pizza? We didn't, we haven't yet. It might, I still haven't looked in how you were gonna do it, but we might look it into the last one. Hey, if you can love the pizza dough cooked with nothing on top, it's top tier. Yeah, totally. So our dough bowls like this. So what I was talking about before is just a little thing that I've learned along the way, which I don't know where the other two are, but we have these. So these are silicone bowls, and we usually put our dough in them. We've got bigger ones, and you put the dough in them, and so when you're ready, they're proofed. You just tip them upside down, because they've got oil. You oil the inside, and they just fall out into a bowl. I don't really like this technique very much, unless I'm doing, I didn't add oil underneath, unless I'm doing like a catering. The last like few pizza parties we've done, I made 24 pizza bases last week. And then I use these containers, but I when I did this and put them in this tin, this little bowl container to proof, had all intention to get up this morning, re-bowl them and then oil it, and I just didn't get around to it. So it's okay. You just don't want to deflate it very much.
Delicious.
Paolo, thank you for using Prime. Thank you. Welcome to Mollytopia. Cheers. Cheers. Okay. Like this. Okay, so get your dough like this. You're just pushing it out. We're just covering it in semolina right now. You can do cornmeal, or some people do flour, regular plain flour. But I have great success with this. Okay, 24. Yeah, so we made 24 bases. We only ended up, because it was going to be like 30 people there, we ended up only cooking 16, 18? No, 18 I think. 18 pizzas, but we were like, and we had to cook them in the space of like an hour and a half, because it was for my stepdad's birthday party, but I was going out to the movies, so I wanted to make them and then leave them. Have you seen the viral TikTok people dipping pizza into buttered chicken. No, but we've made buttered chicken pizza. It's really good. The last few weeks we've made buttered chicken pizza and tandoori chicken pizza. It's very nice. Okay, so we don't want this too thin. We don't want it too thick. So we'll go here. Let's see. So what you want to do, you push it out with your fingers and then you can pick it up and stretch it with gravity like that. There we go. Yeah, last week, no, what was it last week? 2 weeks ago we made tandoori chicken pizza with mango chutney. Oh, so good, guys. All right, so pick it up, stretch it out like that. Okay, then we're gonna grab pizza sauce. This is diced tomatoes with a bit of oregano, garlic, salt, that's it. Raw tomato base. Spread it around. So you don't want as much in the middle because that's where it's it tends to be the thinnest. There we go. And we don't want too much because then it'll be too wet. Makes sense? Then want some of this cheese. Like that. Some mozzarella. This is just going to be a margarita. Like that. Beautiful. Grab these 2 fingers like that and just pull it out. Stretch it to your round shape if you want. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter if it's round or oblong or whatever, who cares? If you want, you can put some basil on there, but you kind of want to tuck it. I never really put it on before I put it in the oven. You put it on after, it's better. Being chonkers, the mozzarella, yeah. So, sorry, I forgot you to make sure it shakes so it comes off. Ready? Beautiful. So it takes about 90 seconds to cook. Start to puff up the sides. Oh. Okay, just rotating it. The heat's coming over the top, but it's primarily from the left side if you want to get the crust to be puffy, like that. That's what it's looking like already. There you go. If I want it to cook the top more, then you just lift it up higher. Look at that. Look at that nice crust coming along. Oh, sorry. Just getting it back now. So now the base is cooked. Each side I've rotated it. Now I want to get the edges darker. So you can just lift it up like that. So the higher the heat rises to the top. Nice. Yes. Whoop. Beautiful. Look at that. Redeemed myself with this one, I think. I think. The pizza oven is a, sorry, I'm just concentrating, Gosney Arc XL. The pizza oven itself was $13,990. Yeah, $1,399. And then the stand was, I think, $350. So altogether, it's about, with accessories and stuff, about $2,000 Australian. It's gas, but we've made more like pizza. We've made pita bread. There's heaps of stuff you can make in there. I really recommend it. We've had it for 2 months. We make pizza most Fridays, and then we've done pizza parties. It's 23 kilos, which is about 45 pounds. So you can unscrew it from the base, and we've taken it to our grandparents' house, our parents' house, and we have pizza parties at their house. The dome is bigger, but this is just easier for us to move around our backyard, take to friends and family, just be able to have more use of it. I freaking love it. Some of the tools, you can get the expensive tools that are from Gosney or more expensive tools, but I just got these from AliExpress, and this was about $35. And I think same with this. These are my two favorite tools to use. And the cutter is from Gosney, and that was more expensive. But you can get some third-party tools. You don't have to get the ones from Gosney. And it's amazing. Amazing. Okay. So that is the pizza. And then what we're going to do is come along. We're very, very lucky. It was a community goal, so we raised it as a community, and that's why we do Pizza Fridays every week, because the community purchased it, and we get to make content. Very, very lucky. So prosciutto, like this. This is my favorite pizza. We call it the Molly Margarita in our house, or the Molly Classic. Yeah, that cutter style is way better. It is, and it's really sharp, so it has an edge on it like a knife. Yes. So, salty Italian prosciutto, like that. I like to kind of rip it up, because then even when the cutter cuts it, you still have big chunks in it. You don't want it to all fall off. When you bite into a tomato or something, and you bite it, or a piece of pepperoni, and all the pepperoni comes with it, you want the prosciutto to stay there and have a bit of flavor in each bite. So I rip the prosciutto up a little bit, but not too small. I don't chop it. Okay, like that. And then let me do this. We get our basil leaves. We've got a bit of a special one today, because we actually have a burrata. So I want to show you the filling of this burrata is cold stracciatella. So, where when the the cheese makers in Italy, they didn't sell the cheese for the day, the mozzarella. What they did is got the mozzarella, shredded it, and mixed it with cream, and that is what is called stracciatella. So not to be mistaken with stracciatella ice cream. Stracciatella in Italian means little shreds. So you have 3 different types of stracciatella. Stracciatella ice cream, soup, and cheese. Okay, so they, when the cheesemakers had leftover cheese from the day before, they would shred it and then they would stuff it into another fresh bowl of mozzarella. And this is where burrata came along. So this is burrata, and it has a filling of cream and shredded mozzarella. But this can be quite expensive. So what my recommendation, what my little trick is get mozzarella balls or bocconcini balls. And all you need to do, I'm just trying to find, there's olives in here. Oh man, must have left them. No, they're here. All you need to do is shred the mozzarella, mix it with cream, and you've got your own stracciatella. You can throw it, I like a fresh prosciutto. So, this here is stracciatella, and then I usually dump that on here, but today we've got this. It's a bit hard to get out. Okay, just get some paper towel. And then you just plonk that like that. It's a bit big, we won't use the whole thing today, but ready? Last but not least, you want some basil oil, or what we use in this house is blended basil with olive oil, or this is just a strained olive oil with basil infusion. Hold on. Just gotta warm it up with my hands. I'd serve it like that, but you need this. It's been in the fridge, so it's a bit, hold on. Come on. There we go. There we go. My son is watching one end of the house and you got you in my room. Hey, Royal, nice. I love that. Okay. And then from there, I might also, just because I want to today. I usually don't, but I'm just gonna add some olives. What we call this the Molly Margarita, the Molly Classic. And you want to grab your fingers or a knife. Look at this, Peter. Where's my knife? Ready? Look at that. It's so good. We're only going to use half today. But interesting texture. It is insanely delicious. So then you just, it's a bit wet, that's the only thing. Oh my God. Look at that. Where'd those scissors go? God damn it. Ready? I said it's a bit messy, but beautiful big air bubbles. It is honestly amazing. Best pizza. So, salty, creamy. We got the sweetness from the tomatoes. It's just so good. Wow, it's so yummy. Would you eat this? Guys, would you eat this pizza? Yum. Yeah, Dan, Bowood. So next time you have pizza, get fresh cream and mozzarella and just make stracciatella. It's easier to, and then burrata can be sometimes more expensive to buy, but also hard to find. Hi. Honestly, it's the best pizza. I could live on this pizza for the rest of my life. Holy heck, it's good. Oh my God. Look at that. I know it looks a bit messy now because it looked prettier before. Can you make that from heavy cream? Yeah, so you just get like mozzarella, the mozzarella bowls that come in the liquid, take them out, shred them, pour over heavy cream, a little bit of salt in a jar, and then you make the stracciatella. Yeah, heavy cream, it's so good. I honestly prefer it better than burrata because burrata you've got the mozzarella on the side, whereas this is just heavy cream and shredded mozzarella. So you get more richness. Because like see this, the burrata, you get like big chunks of mozzarella. I don't really like it as much because it doesn't taste as good. This is a margarita, so tomato, basil, prosciutto with burrata or stracciatella. It's like a mixture of mozzarella and heavy cream and basil oil. So I just get fresh basil like this, and then I blend that with extra virgin olive oil, and then you can strain it if you want, and then you just keep it in your fridge. It's very yummy. Don't need to heat it. Yeah. Don't forget he's on a call. He loses. I'm full. So full. We've got one pizza dough one base left. What are we gonna make? See the oven at the back? You can see the ash. So if I left the, I've turned the oven down now, and see the base is black. There's like some black ash, there's some black carbon. If I leave the oven on really high, the stone cleans itself. It doesn't do as good at the front, but the rest of the oven, like it blows out the ash and it just cleans it. It's gone. It's so amazing. It's like a pyrolytic oven. So if you have any mishaps like we did, you just turn the oven up really high for about half an hour. It gets about 500 degrees Celsius. Hey Google, what is 500 Celsius in Fahrenheit?
500 degrees Celsius is equivalent to 932 degrees Fahrenheit.
There you go. So you heat it up like that for like half an hour and it will clean the oven for you. No scrubbing, no like chemicals or anything. It cleans itself. That's why it's amazing. Like, yeah, it gets up higher than 500, but it gets up to about 600 degrees Celsius. I clean my grill the same way, yeah. So when before we bought this oven, Exceed, he loves pizza, but he couldn't understand why I wanted a pizza oven. He was like,